Benjamin James Hawkins, age 18. First came into my care on September 20th, 2019, just 1 month after the death by drowning of his cousin, 25-year-old Henry Montblanc. An average student, an ordinarily polite and kind young man, Ben and his cousin had been working at the Montblanc family cottage at the time of the incident. Unfortunately, the official record of events is difficult to piece together given Ben's mental state and lack of witnesses. Due to the trauma of losing a relative with whom witnesses say Ben was very close to, Ben is now suffering from delusions and hallucinations, which, I believe, is a coping mechanism similar to a fugue state, as his mind attempts to come to terms with what has occurred. He believes he and his cousin were attacked by one or more creatures, which Ben believes inhibit the water off the coast where the fishing plant is located. In order to help give further insight into these hallucinations, I have convinced Ben to write his narrative of events, unfiltered, which follows here.
Henry and I had gone to his family cottage for the weekend. He'd asked me to come along, since I had a few days off from the fishing plant where he and I work at. Henry and I were super close growing up. He was like a brother to me. We drove there on Friday evening. It was August 3rd, I think. The next day, we did some cleaning up around the cottage, and in the afternoon, Henry talked me into going for a swim with him. The beach isn't far from Henry's cottage, and the only people who go there are from his community, so we were basically on our own. We horsed around in the water for a while, and we were back on the shore when Henry said he saw something in the water. He'd been teasing me all day about stories that locals tell to reel in the tourists, about monsters in the water, merpeople and stuff. So I told him to shut up because I had heard these stories a million times. Henry told me he was serious and got up to look into the water. We were on top of a sort of sand dune, because the water had washed away some of the sand earlier, so the water was at the bottom of a slope. I heard Henry say, "Holy shit," and I looked up as the sand gave way and he slid down the bank. And I cursed and crawled forward to look down, and I saw it. There was something in the water below me. It was some kind of washed up dolphin, I thought, but it was still alive, and was moving towards Henry. It had a tail and fin like a dolphin's body should, but the body was long and kind of skinny. It had two weird fins, like half fin, half hands, or something, and its face. It had a face, like a person's face. I'm serious. A person's face, with eyes and long hair, and this stretched out mouth like a crocodile's. Henry was trying to climb back up the bank. He was terrified, and he couldn't get back up. The sand was crumbling under him. I stuck out my foot, and Henry grabbed it so he'd have something to hold on to. I tried to pull him up. I tried to help. Henry's older than me. He's bigger and heavier than me. So I started sliding forward, trying to keep him up. The thing had reached the bottom of the bank. I could hear it making noises. It was laughing at us. Laughing. Henry was swearing, begging me to pull him up. So the thing was at his feet, I felt his hands slipping off my ankle. The thing was pulling him off of me, pulling him away into the water. I never did anything, never hurt him. I tried to help him. I tried. They took him. I tried. I tried. I tried. I tried.
Unfortunately, I was wrong in my assessment. Ben's condition was exacerbated after he wrote down his thoughts, and he spent several hours insisting that he had tried to save his cousin's life before the creature dragged him into the water. I have decided, after consultation with my colleagues in the hospital, that going to the scene for my own examination would help me not only in gaining further understanding of the area, but will also allow me to reassure Ben by the lack of any such creatures, which I hope will help this poor young man.
Please leave your message